Okay, so
welcome everybody to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. Most of you probably know that the mission of 1M1M is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond by 2020, thereby building $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. Now, this goal can only succeed if you all succeed in being successful entrepreneurs. Our entire purpose of existence is to support your work and make you successful. So we cannot be successful without your success. We are, that committed to your success. This is our 138th session. So these free roundtables have been going on for a long, long time. And we have met all sorts of people from all over the world. And it's been really cool, We just dial in and we meet people from all over the world, Iceland, Estonia, Brazil, Malaysia, all over the place. And it's just a fascinating Thursday morning usually for all of us who are regulars at these events and also the people who come from time to time. So we hope, to continue providing this forum to entrepreneurs all over the world. You will have a recording of the session available, by the way, afterwards to share and to reflect back on it. Twitter, if you're live tweeting the show, please use hashtag 1M1M. And then we have our two Twitter accounts, @Sramana and @1M by 1M. You can also follow those, link up with those, and we do all the retweeting and all that from those accounts. And then we are going to start, is Sumit ready, or are we going to start with Eyal?
Yeah, Eyal will go first now.
Eyal will go first. Okay, well, we're going to move.
Okay.
Sumit is still dialing. Eyal, if you could unmute your line and come tell us what you're up to, that would be great.
Great. You can hear me, right?
Yep. Yeah,
okay,
where are you joining?
Pardon?
Where are you joining from?
Yeah, so I'm joining from Israel.
Okay, awesome.
Great to meet you and great to meet you all. So my company is InstruMagic, and our aim and our vision is to create musical instruments for non-musicians, so everyone can enjoy playing music.
Mm-hmm.
So take one slide down. So our current product, and I'm starting with the product. Usually when I do presentations, I start with playing because there's nothing like seeing and hearing the real thing. So our current product is a virtual guitar that anyone can play. By the way, do you play guitar, Sramana?
No, I used to play the piano, so I am familiar with playing an instrument and learning to play an instrument very much so.
All right, so I bet you wanted to play guitar. I mean, because it's really cool. Everybody wants to be the guy with the guitar at the campfire or whatever. And so this is a guitar that's based on songs. Okay, so you can search and find any song in the world, mm-hmm. upload it and play it right away. Basically, the way it works is that it does the left-hand part for you. So you have one button, the big red button. It's a zap button, and that progresses between the chords, and then you play freestyle with your right hand. So as long as the chord is held right, you can do whatever with your right hand. It's like percussion, it's just a style. So this is a guitar that lets anyone play any song.
The chord is pre-recorded, and you're just playing the treble on the application.
Strings. No, we have recordings of the strings at every fret state. Uh-huh. So the chord actually maps each of the 6 strings to the right finger position on the left hand. So then you can actually either strum or pick on the strings in your own style.
I see. Interesting.
So we're saying it's a real guitar. It's not a physical guitar, but it's a real guitar. You can actually play on it, and it's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so slide down. Again, so really our mission is to bring the joy of playing music to everyone, and we plan to come out with many instruments so that every mobile device will have our instruments on it. These instruments will be able to play together in sync, so people can play in bands upload videos, play together with friends. That's the basic vision.
Okay.
Now, looking at the market, basically, when I ask people, whenever I'm, say, with a group of 10 people and ask them, do you play guitar? So usually out of 10, about one actually plays guitar. And out of the existing 9, 8 tried to play guitar, wanted to play guitar, but gave up at some stage. Either never really gave it a fair try, or usually with didn't follow through with all the practice needed. So we're seeing a really big market here, and being a bit more specific, I think that the crowd that would be interested in this kind of app would be everybody that used to play a Guitar Hero, that kind of gave you the guitar playing experience without knowing how to play. That peaked a really high market share of the whole music industry in 2008, and kind of declined since then because it wasn't a real musical instrument. It was actually like a rhythm pattern matching game, which music was embedded on. So this is a real instrument. And then I think the biggest player in this kind of casual musical instruments for non-musicians today is a Smule, with apps like Magic Piano and Magic Guitar. They started off with the Ocarina. I don't have their figures, but I know that they've been funded for 25 million. There's a million there. So obviously someone believes that the market has high potential. Next, please. Okay, so our go-to-market, we've actually partnered with Ultimate Guitar, which is the world's largest chords and tabs website. It's a huge brand on the web as well as in the App Store. So we're actually going to release the app in partnership with them in about a month or so. So this will give us quite a lot of exposure and brand equity.
And what does when you say you've partnered with them, what kind of a partnership? What is the structure of the deal? What are they going to do for you, and how are you going to?
Okay, so they're actually doing all the license management for all the content, which is a big issue. And they're going to basically advertise it or promote it on their website. The website is Alexa 1000. I mean, tens of millions of visits a day, I presume. So that's their part. Our part is the technology, and the structure of the deal is licensing of technology. So they're actually going to release the app under their brand name, powered by Instrumagic, and the deal is on a rev share basis.
And your technology is sufficiently defensible to hold on to this position, because it sounds like you're giving away a lot of the market power to them. You won't get sidelined.
Again, what's the issue that you're raising?
Question is your technology sufficiently defensible?
Technology-wise?
Yeah, is the technology really complex, or is it relatively simple?
Yeah, it's quite complex, especially there are many elements of it which are quite complex. We're actually issuing a patent at the moment, a provisional patent at this stage. Okay. And it's quite complex. Our core expertise of the tech guys on my team, tech founders, they come from Waves Audio. It's a big company for developing audio software. So we have that expertise, which is quite rare.
And is the app being marketed as a free app or a paid app?
No, it's going to be a paid app. One of the constraints is the fact that it is using basically it sits on the Ultimate Guitar database, hundreds of thousands of songs. Basically, every song that you would search, you would get. And there is an issue here with royalties. So you can't actually really display or use any content which has royalties on it for free, because you always need to sell it and pay part of the revenues. That is usually the agreement structure with the publishers. So unless we can find some some other structure to pay revenues, the app is going to be paid. It's going to be a few dollars. It's not going to be a $1 app, and it'll give you access to the entire database of songs.
And the structure of the deal is, aside from the royalties that you pay to the publishers, how much is Ultimate Guitar taking from the, what is the pricing and how much are you getting, how much is Ultimate Guitar getting?
So basically royalties are around 50% off the top. So basically Apple gets 30, of the 70 that are left, royalties are around 50, so that leaves us with about 35, and that's split somewhere around 50-50 with Ultimate Guitar.
So it's 50% gross margin, and that 50% is going to be split between you and Ultimate Guitar.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're getting about 20 cents on the dollar, and the app is going to be, we're still kind of considering pricing, but I guess between $3 and $5 probably. And
is that sufficient to cover your costs?
Yes, depending on how much we're going to sell. If we sell about, currently we're 3 people, so I need to do the math really. How much do we have to sell in order to cover a monthly cost? But according to our forecast, yeah, it's going to actually be quite profitable.
Okay.
Now, in the future, we are planning to add in-app purchase to get recurring revenues from users, either for song packs or for additional sounds,
okay.
Additional guitar, additional effects. Just back to the other slide, just a quick brush through on the other strategies for getting to market. So one thing that we're planning is collaborations with artists. So we'll have, for instance, the Bob Dylan app, and that will be something that will be quite useful for the artist to have a two-way relationship with fans through the app and through the social aspects of it.
Yeah.
PR and media buy, of course, and there are some viral elements to the app, either from within the app where you can invite players, and we are planning like an embedded social network in which you can share and see what your friends played, and also play together in real time, all in the same room. And of that, I think
of being able to play it real time together.
Real time together in sync, in the same location. We're not sure.
You're able to do that.
Yeah, we can do that. We're not sure if we'll be able to do it over the web still.
Okay.
So we'll be...
Actually.
Oh yeah. Thanks. And of course, I think videos are going to be really viral. Okay, so the last slide, I think that's the industry landscape. Basically, who are the other kind of players in the field that might be considered as competition, and what is our competitive advantage? So there's plenty of guitar apps, since day one of the iPhone, but these really require knowledge. I mean, you have to do the fingering yourself. You have to know the chord. You have to know what you're doing. And that guitar is based on songs. So you just kind of import the song, and you can just start playing the song right away. You don't need to know which chords to play or how to play them or anything like that. There are plenty of guitar learning apps, but well, there's like a saying in Hebrew, don't give a poor man fish, give him a fishing rod, teach him how to fish. So we're not teaching anyone how to fish. We're giving them fish. Okay, you can just play right away. You don't need to learn. The learning curve starts really low. After a couple of minutes with the app, you can play any song, and then you can still go forward because it's a real infinite musical instrument. You can develop your style, the right hand style.
So instant gratification.
Yeah, instant gratification, and
perfect
exactly.
For the current generation.
Yeah, even though there is currently not really any gamification aspect to it. So it's actually more a musical instrument than a game.
That's fine.
Yeah, and then there's also the music games, right? The Guitar Hero kind of style games, and apps, which give you kind of the feeling that you're playing. But as I said, that guitar is a real guitar. It's not a physical guitar. It's a real guitar. You can actually sit around the campfire with it and play. And everybody enjoys the music.
Okay.
So that's us. We're launching in September. We're planning to eventually to continue with launching other apps, and we currently funded pre-seed about $50,000, and we're looking for funding in order to expand and to be able to get salaries and offices, etc., and obviously expand into marketing, etc.
So you need to create if you want to raise funding, you're going to need to create all the collateral supporting a funding round, like a TAM analysis and so on and so forth. Have you done all that?
Yeah, we have like the standard investment Excel.
Up TAM analysis?
The what?
A bottom-up TAM analysis?
I'm not sure what's that. Bottom-up what?
TAM, total available market.
No, none of that.
You're going to need that. If you want to raise funding, you're going to need a bottom-up TAM analysis.
Like the bottom line of this kind of analysis?
No.
What question is
bottom-up
to answer?
TAM analysis. If you don't know what it is, you do need to know what it is.
No, I'm asking what is the basic question that this analysis is trying to answer, or I can just look it up.
Well, I'm asked, the question I was asking you is, have you done a bottom-up TAM analysis? Because
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
That is probably one of the most important pieces of an investor deck.
Right. I'll look into that.
You're going to need to put together, and depending on that, you're going to need to create a compelling product roadmap, which gives you, VCs fund very large very large market opportunities. So I don't have a sense of how much money you're going to make off this. If you're making 20 cents off the dollar, so something like if it's a $5 app, you're making probably $1 per purchase. How many are you going to sell of this product? What is the assumption? How big a company can you build? Even if you sell 1 million copies, it's only a $1 million business. So
yeah.
Those kinds of businesses are not fundable.
Yeah.
So if you want to raise money, it needs to be a fundable business. But my feedback to you is going to be, don't get hung up on the fact that you have to raise money to build this business. You can also bootstrap the business. If the business is not fundable, don't waste your time trying to raise money. Spend your time trying to do the kinds of deals that you're doing. There are other sheet music vendors, by the way,
yeah.
Who would be potential channels for you also if you go work with those other guys. And if your go-to-market strategy is an OEM strategy like you presented today, then there are other sheet music vendors and other potential partners with whom you can build relationships and go to market that way. Because if the total available market of the business is, I don't know, $5 million, $10 million, that's not a fundable business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
good
though. I like the idea very much. I like the concept. I can resonate with it because I have played an instrument and it was very enjoyable. But it's also especially piano, is very, very time consuming to learn. So it takes a lot of practice. If you can simplify the process and still be able to deliver the gratification of being able to play an instrument, I think there's actually a lot of value in that. For people who love music, lots of value.
Yeah, well, we built it for ourselves, so we obviously see the value.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, we are going to go to Sumit, I think. Good job, Yal. I like the idea a lot. Sumit, you need to unmute your line and come and tell us what you are doing. Marketify. Is Sumit on the phone? What's going on? Either Maureen or Sumit needs to tell me what's going on, or should I advance to the next person? Okay. Is Atul Singh on the call?
Yes, absolutely.
Atul, I'm going to move to you, and looks like Sumit is still not figured out how to get on the phone. I don't understand what's so complicated about getting on the call. But we are going to go to Fair Absorber. Fair Observer, making sense of the world. Okay, let's hear what this is all about.
Okay, so we are a media company, and the whole idea is to become an intelligently crowdsourced media platform that provides analysis of global issues for educated professionals. The premise behind it is that if you live in the world today, you get information that is not adequate for understanding how the world as a whole works, and you're not getting enough perspectives because all media generally is still ethnocentric. And a large part of the old media is facing pressures and declining, and they don't have foreign correspondents, and a lot of them are giving way to sensationalism. And on top of it, there is no context when you read about an issue, whether it is in economics or in politics. So for us, the market opportunity lies in the fact that we assume there's demand for better information. Then the second thing is that there's supply for information from an increasing number of informed people. And for us, the data points for both of them is that because of the demand, increased demand, you have the print of The Economist, which is an old publication, a print publication. Even that has doubled over the last 10 years, while everyone else has been shrinking. And for supply of information, we looked to a data point called Wikipedia, where 4 million articles have been crowd created. And now you have technology that can match demand and supply. So we think that we want to emerge as an alternative to The Economist, a 21st century alternative to The Economist. But unless The Economists have perspectives from around the world and context of the issues being listed, and not just be an Oxford and Cambridge publication. Our signature product is the 360-degree analysis, which has context and many perspectives. Our market happens to be decision makers in policy making and business and academia. We have already managed to get more than 300 contributors from over 30 countries, and we have a volunteer editorial team that spans all the way from Shanghai in China to Sao Paulo in Brazil. And for us, the next stage is to create a website that does two things. That increases audience engagement and the contributor involvement. That is a big failing that has been on our website so far, and we plan to change that. And our go-to-market is primarily having this website, which involves the people right from topic setting to commenting to submitting their articles or photo features or even presentations, and then leveraging the global contributor network that we have built up to spread the word and use the audience because of its engagement to spread the word. Our advisors are from all over the world and include two former prime ministers, one of whom is John Bruton, who began the Northern Irish peace process. And we have a small but highly engaged community, which is typically a lot of people involved in policy making or in top companies or in top universities. And now we want to grow this small audience and take it to a wider public. So that's what Fair Observer is, and that is, in a nutshell, who we are, and our funding needs are $1 million, which will last us 18 months, and that $1 million will go primarily into hiring people for technology and the editorial team.
So, you know, I'm an avid reader of The Economist, and I've actually studied The Economist business model and the business model in publishing quite thoroughly because, as you know, I have written my blog for many years now, 6 years, and I've watched the evolution of the online media world. One of the first questions you're going to get in this business is, how do you build a business? If you want an investor to give you $1 million, you have to give them a sense of what return are they going to get for that $1 million, unless this is a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So the business models, let me finish. The business models for online media are generally broken, except for The Economist and Wall Street Journal have been able to get subscription revenue. Both have made successful transitions from print to online, and The Economist has maintained a very successful print publication. And they make their money largely through subscription, and the Wall Street Journal has very successfully made the transition to an online subscription business. And I think those businesses actually work better as subscription businesses, and they're not entirely dependent on advertising. The crowdsourced content businesses like Huffington Post are not subscription businesses. They are largely advertising businesses. For advertising businesses to work, your audience needs to be huge. And getting to that huge audience is no small task. And the more intellectual things get, it seems like the smaller the audience is. So, so there's a whole bunch of issues that I, touched upon here. One is a business model issue. One is a go-to-market issue and customer acquisition issue. That there's a chicken and egg issue of how do you get to, 20, 50 million consumers whom you can monetize through advertising sufficiently to be able to make this an interesting business. And what kind of money does it take to get there?
Okay, so I'll answer the monetization. I think there are new models right now coming up. If you look at Xconomy, which I'm sure you know them.
I write for Xconomy.
You write for
Xconomy. I know Xconomy very well. It is not a business.
Well, it is now break even.
Yeah, but Xconomy is funded by a nonprofit. I mean, it's funded by a foundation.
But they're a for-profit company. They're a mission-driven for-profit company. Obviously, they're not Huffington Post, but what they've been doing is they've had a number of corporate sponsors, and so the business model for us is to have multiple revenue streams going forward. One, of course, is trying to get underwriters/sponsors, because I accept your point that advertising until you acquire scale does not work. It simply does not work. So the other way is to get corporate sponsors who might want to reach a more niche audience. And the European Financial Review does that. So whilst you're right that the older models the online models are broken, we are beginning to see the evolution of newer models.
So if you go that route, basically I guess the point of what I'm trying to...
The other revenue stream is syndication, wherein we syndicate the content we already have, and we are starting to see some traction to newspapers and media companies facing these cost pressures who want content from around the world but are unable to get it
for free. Again, I'm familiar with this world. I have written for Forbes for 3 years, and I syndicate content to at least 10 different venues at this point today as we speak. And their expectation is that syndication is happening for free. So don't expect syndication revenues. This is an industry that is deeply broken. So to finish the conversation on Xconomy may be break even, but it's not a fundable business. No investor is going to invest in a company like Xconomy and expect to make returns out of it. If you look at one of the most successful ventures in online media, that's actually TechCrunch. And TechCrunch was a bootstrap company. It's a company that was self-financed, and it was sponsorship and advertising and those revenue finance companies. If you have to build a company like this, you can build a company like this, but you're going to have to do it with a self-finance model. It's not something that an investor would invest. You can get a corporate sponsor to start, and start generating revenue and build it organically, but you can't go to investors and present a business like this and expect to get funded. And I think if you, I can't remember exactly the details, but I think Xconomy got themselves off the ground with some nonprofit kind of funding. It was basically Kauffman Foundation that funded them.
They have other investors who believe in media for good and are mission driven.
Yeah, so you cannot expect regular investor network, the normal investors who expect financial returns and are going to fund this. You're going to have to go look for other kinds of financing.
I mean, we are not looking for the typical VC anyway. We are looking more for people who are investing in impact. What's the term? Impact investing, who basically are mission driven and at the same time are for profit. The only reason we haven't done a non-profit is that we want to retain autonomy, and we are naive enough in our beliefs to assume that if we acquire critical mass of contributors, and if we acquire a brand name for quality, we will be able to monetize along multiple streams.
Right. So I think whatever it is that you're trying to do, it's going to, my input on that is it's going to have to be financed in a non-traditional
Yes, I agree with that. I do not dispute that. I completely agree with that.
Okay. So, in principle, I like intellectual things. I like intellectual analysis. I've fought this battle on the business and economic side for many years, actually, and I've watched this industry evolve at a very granular level, and it's really actually annoying how this industry has come to a point. I think this is part of the problem, and that you'd probably appreciate my comment as an observer of what's happening to the world, is that this world is kind of drowning under the weight of free riders. The internet is a massive, colossal Anyway, good luck, but you're going to have some difficulties. I'm just alerting you to the fact that this is not going to be an easy battle to fight.
Yeah, well aware of that.
All right. Sumit, have you been able to get on, or?
Yes, I am on now.
All right. So let's go back to your slides. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Sumit Gadodia. Actually, this is my idea is about social trading, and let me go to the next slide. Really, what my idea is like, here people can come over to my site, and they can discover new things. They can follow follow traders, and this idea is new in India. Okay, and so it's about social trading. So people can share ideas, share knowledge, and at the same time they can learn from other people. Basically, who I'm targeting is people who are invested or trading in NSE and BSE in India, and people who want to learn about trading. Also, what I'm looking at
Can you please focus on giving your pitch and not having a side conversation? Sumit? Okay, this is extremely annoying. All right. Is Erica Brodnock on the line?
Yes, hello.
Hi, Erica. Let's do your segment.
Thank you very. I'm good. Thank you very much. Thank you for agreeing to speak to me today. I appreciate it.
Erica, just for one moment, let me set the context for the rest of the room. Erica Brodnock is a premium member of the 1M1M program, and we're just going to have a little chat about what's going on with her company. She's doing a gaming company, and she has a few questions that she wanted to chat with me on, and that's what we're going to do now. Go ahead, Erica.
Okay, thank you, Sramana. So basically, I've approached a couple of people who are able to make a large-scale game for me and had some quotations for that. Sorry, my phone has decided to ring, but I'm not going to answer it. So I've approached some companies and I've had quotes to make a game. What I'm trying to establish, though, is if there's a way that I can test the market a little bit more than I already had. So we went round, as you know, and we surveyed about 800 parents, and we spoke to them about what they would want to see and how they would want to have a game look for their children, and the types of things that they wanted their children to do that would help them to focus on their emotional intelligence. So the specification that I've developed for the game includes all of the feedback that we've had from parents. What I would like to do is see if there's a low-cost way of me getting that together so that I can put out an initial game, test the market, make it iterative, change based upon the feedback that we get from actual players, and then put a final game out into the market that is a true working model based upon what people actually want. However, what I'm finding is that the quotations that I'm getting back are in the range between sort of £12,000 to £20,000 for developing a basic version of a game, and I'm just wondering whether it needs to cost quite so much. You referred me to Game Salad and stuff, but because I don't have the technical experience, I'm going to find it difficult to create a game without the help of someone else.
Right. So with the help of someone else, what you need to do is create what we call a minimum viable product. Are you familiar with that terminology?
I am. It's just, I'm familiar with the terminology. It's just getting people to translate that into an actual minimum viable product as opposed to something that ends up being more of a costly build. Because of the amount of development and illustration work that would need to be done for the characters in order to have them move and all of that sort of thing, because I have my own characters, I think that adds a sense of complexity to the problem. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, you know, from a range point of view, a minimum viable product, a game that you're having somebody else develop that has significant graphics, paying, you know, somewhere between £12,000 to £20,000. I would say $12,000 to $20,000 is probably more like my assessment. Not £12,000 to £20,000. That's a reasonable amount, actually.
Okay.
You know, it's not unusual to pay somewhere in that range for a minimum a viable product, although your assessment, the quotes that you've got is slightly over, but it's not hugely over. Maybe it's 50% over, but it's not completely off.
Fine.
So I think the only way that you'll be able to get real feedback is by getting, at this point now that you've done the first layer of validation with the 800 parents, the next stage of validation would need to be with a minimum viable product. And for that, I think spending somewhere around 12 to 15 pounds probably is a reasonable assessment.
Okay.
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 Does that answer your question much?
Yeah, that perfectly answers my question, and it gives me enough to go forward. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Maureen, where do we stand right now? Looks like Sumit can't get his act together. And there's another premium member who wants to have a conversation. Victor, are you on the line?
Yes.
Hi, Victor. Okay, well, let's talk about your situation. And you're going to have to give us a bit of context because you haven't done a private roundtable yet, or we haven't really had.
It's my first one, yes.
So, go ahead.
Basically, I pitched about 2 weeks ago, so this is my first private roundtable. And the context is the following. We developed basically job matching, online job matching engine targeted towards software engineers. And the minimum viable product is out. We're using compensatory algorithms compared to, for example, the existing job matching services, which are using either semantic matching or filters. And what we're having a problem with is that B2B marketing is fine, it's going fine. Our business is called Pooltown. Actually, you can see the site. It's on. It's running. We're going to do some changes to the front page in order to do A/B testing for the attractiveness. But the B2B marketing is going fine. We attracted several partners. None of them are paying yet, but they are marketing their jobs through the site, and we are remarketing them through social media channels, trying to attract members. Membership is free. People fill up an application form, which is similar to CV, but there are certain personality aspects of it, and we're planning to add tests which are developed, but we wish to first learn how to market this effectively and then complicate the product, let's say. So the problem we have is that the member attraction is very slow. And the issue is that we focused on more expert members, so higher level of software engineers, because we basically the demand of our partners is in that area. While we don't have that many, starting jobs to offer to the actual, hot job seekers or active job seekers. So we're at a point where we're targeting a market where people are not necessarily that interested in switching, or the switching cycle is long. And we're growing with 2 or 3 new members per week. So we have about 100 plus now. And what I wanted to ask is for any ideas of best practices, because we're still bootstrapping. Everything is financed from the 2 partner companies that are developing this new company.
Before I answer the question, I got your point. You're trying to solve the chicken and egg that every startup faces at the early stages. You're trying to figure out how to get enough job seekers, and so that the businesses are interested actually in paying for your service.
Paying, yes.
How much of the curriculum, the 1M1M curriculum, have you gone through?
We just started.
So I'd like you to go through the core curriculum in full, and especially on the customer acquisition segment of or acquisition module, customer acquisition module of the curriculum, deals with this topic that you're asking for feedback on. So I would like to go through that in absolute complete detail and dialogue with me within the curriculum, and I will be able to point you to specific strategies.
Great, great. And then the second question I had is, because we're considering pushing hard in September, but especially towards the B2C market, so attracting talents. But this we feel requires well, it will require marketing costs that we don't think we can face right now. So is this a good phase of looking for seed capital, or shall we try to, just bootstrap, go under the radar still?
You have not reached a point where this business can be funded.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point trying to go for seed capital right now. I would say, if you go through the curriculum, all these questions are answered in a lot of details. You have to understand what is fundability.
Okay.
And that's all tackled in the curriculum. I would strongly recommend as soon as possible you go through, set aside the time to go through the core curriculum immediately.
Okay,
and all these questions are going to get answered, and you are not ready for financing right now. You've got to get to a little bit of validation and some idea that this thing is going to scale before you can attract any investor.
Okay.
And at the moment, there is nothing in the company to convince any investor that this is going to go anywhere.
All right.
So that early, chicken and egg problem has to be tackled with bootstrapping. There is no choice.
Thank you.
There's all sorts of, modules on fundability. What is fundable? What is not fundable? Which you need to understand and basically work into your strategic planning.
All right.
And there are specific guidance on customer acquisition as well in the curriculum, which as soon as you start working on those, start asking questions within the curriculum, I will dialogue with you and we'll have a go-to-market strategy ironed out as soon as you have had a chance to digest some of that material.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so I think we're going to not waste any more time trying to get Sumit on the call. Folks, if any of you have any questions, we're going to do Q&A shortly. So start thinking about what questions, what issues you want to discuss. By the way, Karishma Kids is Erica Brodnick's company that we went through earlier. And Pool Talent is Victor Alexiev's company that we just went through. And both of them are premium members of the 1M1M program. So let's tell you a little bit about what you can expect from 1M1M, both at the free level as well as at the premium level in terms of resources. And while I'm doing that, please start thinking about what questions you want to ask, and you can ask those questions in the public chat, and we can discuss any issue you want to discuss. We do have Q&A time today. And before we dive into that, I have to make a request to each of you. Please, if you like the 1M1M program, please bring us more serious entrepreneurs who have the mettle, who have the resilience to build successful businesses. This is really important because we need, serious, sincere entrepreneurs who have the work ethic to build businesses for this project to be successful. So everything for all our 1M1M resources, your starting point is 1mby1m.com. That's the website. At the free level, we have the blog, which is at sramanamitra.com. And every single case study, every single piece of, interview of entrepreneurs, success stories of entrepreneurs that we use to teach this program is available actually for free on that blog. So it's not synthesized in the way the curriculum of the 1M1M premium program is synthesized, but everything is available on the blog. In addition, we have the Entrepreneur Journeys book series, which does start to synthesize some of the material in form of case studies, analysis, and synthesis. And there are 4 volumes of Entrepreneur Journeys available today, and those are available on Amazon, Kindle internationally, and in India it's available from Flipkart. In most geographies, Amazon delivers, and if you have Kindle, you can access it through Kindle. The 2 cornerstone philosophies of 1M1M are bootstrapping and positioning. And we go out of our way to teach you on these 2 subjects, both through the book series and also in the premium program itself. And our belief is that you have to bootstrap your company to a point to be ready for investors to be interested in you. And in some cases, companies are simply not fundable. So you're going to have to bootstrap all the way. And we will be happy to help you through that process. The other cornerstone philosophy that we follow is, if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, you have to position your company really sharply. And positioning is a very poorly understood discipline in the startup universe. And it is one of the key skills, positioning is one of the key skills, one of the key mechanics of a successful startup that can also operate in a capital efficient mode. It's a very, very important topic that you need to master. All right, so once again, the blog is at sramanamitra.com. It's 100% free. You should be able to access anything you want to access there. In addition, we have these forums, these free strategy roundtables that happen on a regular basis. We are on our 138th session today. Over 10,000 people have attended these sessions from all over the world. And we do these sessions where some number of entrepreneurs come and ask questions, discuss their strategies with us, and we'll give you feedback. And this is free of charge again. So please feel free to use this forum as well as get the word around so that your friends and fellow entrepreneurs can access this resource. Then we have the premium program, where we teach extensive methodology on all the core topics of entrepreneurship, early stage entrepreneurship in technology-enabled services, internet, and mobile. We don't do very capital-intensive businesses, but in the IT-enabled services, internet area, we pretty much cover the entire gamut. You have a curriculum that is delivered through video lectures and case studies. We do help you with business development, where it's potentially introducing you to customers, channel partners, where we have contacts. Media, we do a lot of work in the media. We have, as I was saying earlier, we have extensive relationships in the media. I have a lot of syndicated columns where we help you, we cover you and we help you get your message out there. PR is one of the essential devices of capitalism. Unless people know about you, they cannot buy your product. So we believe that media and analyst relations are very key to building businesses. And we provide the same kind of strategy consulting you saw a little glimpse of today. We do extensive versions of that behind the premium lounge. And we have these kinds of video conference-based mentoring sessions, strategy consulting sessions, roundtables, essentially, for premium members only. And then we help with financing. For those of you who are going to come up with fundable businesses, we are going to help you with financing, connecting the dots with investors, connecting the dots with people, both angel investors and strategic investors, as well as VCs. So that is all part of the 1M1M Premium program that is available for a $1,000 annual membership fee for unlimited usage. And you can sign up online for it at the 1M1M site. You should, a strong recommendation, you should go look at the self-assessment at the site. It's a 9-point questionnaire that basically hits all the top points that you need to cover in assessing your, in calibrating yourself where you are. And if you're a premium member, each of these questions have curriculum modules attached to them. So if there are any gap in your understanding of what is it that you need to do, you will have curriculum modules with case studies and video lectures to teach you that piece of the program. So that all is at 1m1m.com. On the top right corner, on the black bar, you have premium program and FAQ, and there are also video FAQs. Again, that will help you understand the program better. Our methodology is very much the lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startup methodology. So we don't assume that you're going to go raise a lot of money up front. It will take you some bootstrapping and early heavy lifting before your business becomes fundable. Now, in the core curriculum, what you're going to find are 7 modules: bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing. This includes the TAM, bottom-up TAM analysis that came up in the discussion earlier today, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. These are 7 modules that every early-stage entrepreneur needs to learn, and you have no choice but to learn this. So we recommend that you spend 50 hours on the core curriculum and make sure that you master this part of the methodology, because this is going to be really important for you to get, to move forward. Then we have elective modules that are aligned to the trends in the industry, and you need to pick 1 or 2 that align with what you are doing. Web 3.0 and e-commerce is very big. Cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, mobile and social apps, healthcare IT, online education, and gaming are the core topics where we have elective modules. So some of you are doing mobile and social apps in online education. Some of you are doing gaming, online educational games. So you'll probably have 1 or 2 different modules to go through. Make sure you go through those case studies as well, and the video lectures, which will again give you points and pointers which will accelerate your process. You see, the assumption that we are seeing in the market is that funding accelerates your process. The truth is, it's knowledge that accelerates your process. It's not funding that accelerates your process, because we see a lot of entrepreneurs wasting their time trying to raise money at a stage where they're not fundable. And that is not going to accelerate your process. It's going to slow you down, because you're going to get rejection after rejection after rejection, which we don't want you to go waste your time on. We want you to spend your time building your business, getting yourself to a fundable stage, and then go spend the time in trying to raise money. And this is a critical point that you should understand and pay attention to. The curriculum is delivered in form of case studies of several hundred successful entrepreneurs and video lectures. And I'll tell you a little bit about what this curriculum is. We have done 2 things. For the last 6 years, we have invited over 600 successful entrepreneurs to come onto our program and discuss their success strategies and what they've learned, what mistakes they've made. So each of these entrepreneurs have basically taken the time to teach you what they have learned through their journeys, their entrepreneurial journeys. And these are the case studies that we have developed. We have the highest quality case study concentration in early stage entrepreneurship in IT and IT-enabled services anywhere in the world. So that's one piece of the program. The other piece is over almost 140 of these sessions where we have discussed with entrepreneurs their situations, their challenges. We have culled and accumulated the questions and the issues that are coming up in the lives of entrepreneurs all around the world. We have taken all of that, and please put your line on mute. If you're streaming conversations into this conference call, please put your line on mute. So what we have done is we have taken these, sessions, we've taken the questions and issues that have come up, and we've turned those into curriculum modules with video lectures and case studies to address the answers to these questions. So 95+% of the questions we get today is already answered in 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute video lectures and case studies within the curriculum. So it's a tremendously efficient repository for you to learn what you want to learn from. We do have an affiliate program. If you are an entrepreneurship development organization or an incubator or some sort of effort going on in a student-run club, an alumni association, whatever, in different parts of the world who are trying to do an entrepreneurship development, we are very happy to partner with you and join hands, and you can become a 1 million by 1 million affiliate partner, and we'll be happy to work with you. We have a variety of different ways that we partner. So the next few free roundtables are August 23rd, August 30th, September 6th, and September 13th. So feel free to sign up. Feel free to invite your friends to come and use this forum to get input on their businesses. And at this point, if you want to ask questions, it's a very good time to use the public chat to ask your questions and make your comments. While you're doing that, one final pointer to those of you who are interested in developing countries and business plans and ideas that work on developing countries. Vision India 2020 is a book that has $45 billion business ideas focused primarily on developing countries. And it's a business fiction set in 2020, as if we are looking back from sitting in 2020 on the past decade of building interesting, successful companies. So the book starts in 2008, and 2008 to 2020, we are building these companies in various different domains. And you're very welcome to take any of these ideas and develop them. We actually have a module in 1M1M to help you do that as well. So even though it's written as if it's focused on India, these ideas actually apply to Southeast Asia, to Latin America, to Eastern Europe, to Africa, a variety of different developing nations. All right, so anybody with any questions or comments at this point, please use public chat. Yes, no, questions, comments? And by the way, feel free to introduce yourselves. I know there are lots of people in the room from lots of different places. We already met people in the live call from England, from London, from Israel, from India,
Sramana,
from Korea.
Sramana, thank you so much for the event. I hope to see you again, hopefully in person. I have to dash to another meeting, but thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. No problem.
Thank you. Bye.
Priyankar Mukherjee is in Kolkata, West Bengal. Javier Hernandez is in Madrid, Spain. Who else is in the room, and what are you working on? Tell us what you're working on. Max Austin. Sramana, are there any specific roundtables, etc., that deal with internet startups and web developments? All of these roundtables deal continuously with internet startups. I'm not sure if I understand your question very well. Folks, those of you who are dialed into the line, if you could please either drop off the line or unmute your line, that would be great. You're streaming noise into the line, and that's not very nice. Shilpa Kolte from Singapore. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments, introductions? Max is saying he's in Alabama. His question is vague. So, Max, if you want to clarify your question, I'll be happy to answer it. Priyanka is asking, I want to know what is the best and most effective way to pitch your customers. Again, Priyanka, we teach that in extensive, excruciating detail in the premium program, so you're very welcome to learn it. If you join the program, you will have lots of coaching on that. The best way to just to give you a little bit of a high-level guidance, one of the best ways to pitch is by, focusing on what pain you're solving, and with case studies where you have effectively, successfully solved that pain. How effective is an explainer video? It depends on how well you present the points. A video could be very effective, video could be completely useless. It depends entirely on the content of the video. A well done explainer video is very effective. Max says, Dan Stewart spoke very highly of you in the program. Our project is similar to Happy Grasshopper. It's a real estate transaction-related web app that facilitates communication through the process of buying a home. Dan Stewart has been an extremely successful member of the premium program, Max, and he has used the program the way the program was designed to be used. So I can guarantee you that if you have the work ethic and the diligence of using the 1M1M program the way Dan has used it, you are going to be successful. He is very, very diligent, and I'm delighted that in general the members of the program who are using the program the way it was designed to be used are seeing huge success. Priyankar says he's bootstrapping and needs to be careful with his resources. Absolutely. Everybody should be careful with your resources. Even if you're not bootstrapping, you should be careful with your resources. We are very big believers in lean startups, conserving your resources and using them effectively and not throwing away resources, precious resources. And that includes time, by the way. Time is a very precious, scarce resource for little companies. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments, thoughts, ideas? All right, well, looks like there are no other questions or comments, so we will wrap up the session for today, and we actually have a little break. Maureen is going to take some time off. She does all the heavy lifting, as you know, those of you who have worked with Maureen on these, on presenting at the roundtables, and we're going to be back on August 23rd with the next roundtable. And then so definitely sign up for August 23rd or August 30th and September 6th and 13th. The roundtables tend to fill up, and we will see you soon. Bye, everybody. Good luck with your projects, everybody. See you soon.